Greetings and good evening, folks. This is Old Tom Gin here with Tom Jr. Thomas Jr., I guess I should say. Be more formal. Uh, and this is my playthrough of Fallout 4. Survival mode, my permadeath run. If I buy it, and I may buy it very quickly here, that's it. We're done. So we're going to make our way a little further into this vault. I believe it's Vault 114, the Vault of the Triggermen. There's no easy way for Codsworth to get down here, unfortunately. I'm here, of course, with my robot manservant Codsworth. Have been constantly wondering whether I should leave behind, given the difficulties that he's had. Difficulties I've been having in general with companions here. So I really didn't intend to use companions too much. I find basically only a few of the companion perks to be worthwhile. Codsworth is one of them. So my intention was to... There he is, he made it down. Didn't even grunt in pain as other companions do. His is one of the ones I do find valuable because it gives you bonuses against robots, which tend to be problematic. So I was going to stick it out with him. It's also a fairly easy one to get. He likes pretty much when you make anything. He likes when you say nice things about people. Get people to appeal to their better natures, that sort of thing. So we're going to try and get the benefits here. If I can tolerate him long enough, and if he doesn't get me killed, which he may. But now that we're well into the depths of Vault 114, we should be coming up on
Valentine?
the other companion I want to hang out with for a time.
It'll give Skinny Malone more time to think about how he's gonna bump you off.
And there
Don't
he
give me
is.
that crap, Valentine. You know nothing, you got nothing.
Really? I saw him writing your name down in that black book of his. Lousy, cheating card shark, I think were his exact words. Then he struck the name across 3 times.
3 strikes? In the black book?
I'm not even gonna let him finish this stupid thing. I don't. He'll never have to worry about the black book again. And as usual, I'm looting every single toolbox and toolkit and tool case I come across. Oh dear, that didn't work out so well. Sorry, there's plenty more where they came from. And just the duct tapes and flip lighters, thank you very much. Plenty of steel elsewhere.
Hey, you! I don't know who you are, but we got 3 minutes before they realize muscles for brains ain't coming back. Get this door open!
Oh, wait a minute. I don't need to do that. Hold on a second. He has the password.
If you get locked out of the terminal, don't worry. The system will reset itself. Just...
No need. The guy, the dumbass, had the thing on him on his own. Oh, this, by the way, a little side note. The story behind this vault, one of Vault-Tech's many screwed up experiments, was they were going to put the wealthy and important folks of Boston in here, and then basically treat them to an experience of just being a regular schmo, like all of their wealthy comforts taken away. They had group showers. They wanted to talk to the overseer. They had to take a number. This is very, again, one of Vault-Tech's many strange and seemingly sadistic experiments, meant for God knows what purpose. Their own sick, twisted sense of humor. I don't know what they expected to learn here.
give it a minute.
There we go. Nick.
Ah, my knight in shining armor. Question is, why does he come all this way? Risk life and limb for an old private eye.
What are you?
told you, I'm a detective. Look, I know the skin and the metal parts ain't comforting, but it's not important right now. The only thing that matters is why you went to all this trouble to cut me loose.
My son Sean is missing. He was kidnapped, but I don't know who took him or where they went.
Missing kid, huh? Well, you came to the right man, if not the right place. I've been cooped up in here for weeks. Turns out the runaway daughter I came here to find wasn't kidnapped. She's Skinny Malone's new flame. And she's got a mean streak. Anyway, you got troubles, and I'm glad to help. But now ain't the time. Let's blow this joint. Then we'll talk.
I said at the beginning of this that I would prefer to hear my own voice saying the lines other than the protagonist. Although I will freely admit that I don't have the timing down too well, so it's a little bit tricky. Bear with me.
Empty vault. Perfect hideout.
Anything more over here I want to get before I... Oh, that's right. There's something here. Just a bobby pin, but that's all right. Utility jumpsuit, which I don't need. I've got one of those. Do want a little bit of that.
Hold up. I hear some of them coming. There they are. I don't want to play this.
His only job is to check on the prison. Why does that take so fucking long?
Mr. Thomas.
Get down here. Where the heck is he?
Alright, this is another one where if I'm not careful here, these guys will get the drop on me and it will be bad. So I want to be very, very, very careful here. 1, 2, 3 of them I believe there are. The ideal thing, of course, is... Of course, Nick, actually, by the way, is a character who does have pretty good stealth, to the point where these triggermen will sometimes walk right past him. It's kind of amusing, actually. Of course, he also gets in my way, just like Codsworth does. So now I have two guys getting in my way.
Shouldn't hide. Ain't very courageous of you.
At least I think there's 3 guys. I only hear one.
Run and don't come back.
Run into... One of your guys just got shot, dude. How could you go on low alert? And, you know, hey, whatever. This is the rules of the game. This is as good as it gets. That's funny. I could have sworn there were multiples. Oh yeah, there are multiples. Whoops! They almost saw me there. Just trying to line up a shot and he's way the frick over there. I don't want to shoot him.
Lights out for you.
Alright, for once, Nick is actually shooting back. That's terrific. Typically, he just sits there and hides.
Ain't fooling me. You and Valentine are both dead.
You don't have to do this.
Fortunately, he's like most of these guys, he's a terrible shot.
Time for you to take the fall.
Hey, Codsworth, get in the action.
This how you imagined you'd go.
This is a tough one.
Mr. Thomas?
What else you got?
All right.
All right, so we took him out. That's terrific. Took long enough. But, you know, better safe than sorry.
Thomas? Nick anything good?
I wonder if actually if there's a... not to be too much of a scrounger, but I wonder if there's a... Oh, no, those are vending machines. Okay, so we don't need that. What I do want to do is drink a little bit out of the water fountain here. Top off my thirst. Relieve my thirst, I suppose. I don't know why there's a scalpel in there, but I'm not gonna ask. And I think there might be one or two more things in here, but yeah, it's basically just me, you know, doing my standard. There we go, one more. Gather every single thing I can. And by the way, I have no idea what toothpaste actually gives you. Oh, that's actually quite nice. A Vault-Tec lab coat is actually a good thing. That offers some nice bonuses for purposes of science and intelligence-based stuff.
Hard and loud, huh? Well,
Gets the job done. Bad for whoever cleans up the floors.
Hard and loud is right, yes. And why is it hard and loud? Because if I don't think I've ever successfully actually stealthed through that room with those. I don't know why, but I find their perception to be very high in most cases. And whenever I try to sneak through, I get caught. So it's I get this like vaguely sense of vague disapproval from Nick. Like he's like,
doors on the fritz.
I'd
Let me see if I can
prefer
get
if
it
we didn't
open.
have to do that. But there's plenty of guys you have to kill coming up, so
Almost.
I don't see what the
There
real
we
difference
are.
is.
Hell of a lot easier to do when the lock isn't on the other side.
You can say that again. And somehow in this process of getting rid of all these triggermen, I've collected quite a bit of ammo here, so I'm in no danger of losing that.
What?
They're here somewhere.
They're right in front of you, buddy. Yeah, the problem I have here is that I'm constantly dealing with just the stupidity of the companion AI. It just drives me crazy.
I gotta loosen up. I got the fidgets.
Enjoy your coffee.
Where'd you go? Shit. Where'd that come from? You think they're gone for good?
I don't know where they are, Valentine. Oh, there you are. You always follow Valentine by his little quest marker. The thing is, honestly, Nick is not my companion, so he can't die right here or be subdued permanently. So it makes... Speaking of which, where's Codsworth? There's Codsworth. Okay, Codsworth is here. Codsworth is just behaving erratically. Okay, he is following. He's just behaving erratically. And I know it seems like I just cowardly ran away from the fight here.
Now this is my company.
You know why I did that? Because
See?
I did that because they have submachine guns, and it's close quarters, and I don't know quite where they are, and Nick's going to get in my way. So it makes it really, really difficult to fight them and kill them. Certainly makes it difficult to stealth them. Oh boy. I am very concerned that Codsworth is going to run ahead and do something if he ever manages to get up out of this stairwell. So this is just that erratic... Oh yeah, he's just lost here. Okay, hold on a second, buddy. Stay right there until we deal with these guys, okay? I don't think... Oh, Nick's still on the ground, which means he's subdued. And I hear trigger men everywhere. Huh, interesting. Nick's down. I've never seen this actually before. Nick is down. He's not getting up. I can't heal him. I guess because he's not my follower? So presumably he's going to heal himself at some point and get up. I don't know how that works. This is a mechanism I have not seen before. Typically, boy, Codsworth is having a real trouble with these stairs. I think I'm just gonna have to get far enough ahead of him that he teleports back. I'll tell you what, folks. It's always these weird things that you didn't expect. These weird companion behaviors and enemy behaviors that are gonna kill me on this one. It's the stuff that doesn't... I mean, I've played through this scenario probably a dozen times, 2 dozen times, more than that. He's still on the ground. If I can't get him up, I don't know what's going on. I may have to... Oh, there he goes. He is up. He is up. It just took him a while. Just took him a while. So I can only assume that what is going on there is the same mechanism that is used when the companion goes down when they are in your service. The only difference being he isn't in my service, so he just, instead of just walking away, he just has to wait the interval that I would heal him otherwise.
Of course, sir.
And then he gets up, which is a pretty long interval. Which is good, I guess. It's avoids kind of like sort of an insta-heal. Which is kind of what we got in the old days and when they decided companions couldn't die. Of course, in New Vegas, if you played on played really hardcore, companions could die. Pardon me. Soap is a good source of oil. That's not true in real life, but it is true in Fallout.
Wait, the hell?
Alright, Nick's tripped, he's tripped somebody's alertness. And once again, we have neighborhood kittens.
What? Christ.
Neighborhood kittens in evidence. So I'm up here, and Codsworth still has not followed me, which is a little disturbing. Boy, I'm really regretting bringing him. I really shouldn't be turning my back on a place where there's an enemy. So let me not do that again.
Impressive. Well, it's no General Atomics back in the day, but still, touche. This can be fun.
For one for the old mob.
Come on, Codsworth. Get with it, buddy. Oh my god. The erratic behavior is just killing me here.
I'm all ears.
Stay. I'm much better off by myself, I think. Just VAT scanning my ass off here. So there's Nick. He's down again. This does not bode well for my future partnerships with him. It's exactly why I'm trying to get him a better... I got him a gun that's a little bit better quality. But I don't know if that's going to help. He's really going down easily. What I wouldn't give for just a second of that little
Quit jerking me around. Come out and fight.
Ooh, I gotta loosen up. I got the fidgets.
Alright, we've got that. And there's the radio, which is probably going to result, if I post this to YouTube, in a copyright alert. So, if the video just went dead for a while, that's why.
Wait. The hell?
Sometimes I'm telling you, the inability of this
Nothing but nothing over here.
the inability of this game to deaden noise through walls drives me frickin' crazy. It makes it sound like they're right next to you when they are right next to you on the other side of a wall.
He certainly doesn't need that anymore.
And that is a nice reminder that I need to go collect Codsworth. Hey, what's that? It's a bowler hat. I don't have a bowler hat yet.
Huh? Wait a minute.
The hell?
Yes, sir. Nothing would please me more.
Now, I'm not sure exactly why they detected...
Rid of your own shadows now? There's nothing here.
You guys haven't heard the gunfire? I think Codsworth just went to attack them. Maybe not. Here's Nick over there. Put Codsworth right here. Have him stay.
Something you need, sir?
Need you to stay put, buddy. And just a brief pause here. At some point, I suppose I should post pictures of my companion, my gaming companions here, the kittens. They're quite...
More stairs?
Oh, okay, we can bring
Built
Codsworth
this
now.
damn vault. A fitness instructor?
Presently, sir.
that note that Nick made about the stairs, of course, refers again to the lack of creature comforts in this particular vault. All right, go, Codsworth, go get him.
What I saw.
Another do-gooder learns a lesson.
Oh, for God's sakes. They both went down, and neither Trigger Man is down. I am so disappointed, and that puts me in a very dangerous situation. A very dangerous situation, because I've got to take these guys out, and they've got submachine guns. At least one of them does. That's really bad. There's the one with the bat, which of course is the one I don't have to worry about. There's the one with the submachine gun, right there. Oh no, 3 of them. This may be it, folks. Alright, Codsworth is back in shape. And that was pretty hairy, taking out multiple... thank God for VATS, folks. I mean, if I did not have those excessive action points, there's no way in hell I would have survived that. And if you notice, I didn't really have great percentages on that either. Look at that, now I get some antibiotics. Yeah, that was a scary one. A scary one right there. Take out all 3. Whew. Not easy, not easy. It really just luck at that point. It is really purely luck that I am still around. 2 guys with machine guns. Hell, even 1 guy with a submachine gun would have taken me out very easily. Very easily. We're actually going to do something a little meta right now, and that is I'm going to do a quick save, and the only way I can do a save is, unfortunately, to take a nap. So we're here in the vault. We're going to take a short rest in D&D terms. Took a short rest. We were not ambushed. So one thing I will say: thank God that they don't ambush you during sleep. Okay, so yes, so we're coming up on Skinny Malone here. And that means one thing and one thing only. I must...
But I hear big fat footsteps on the other side. Once we step through this door, get ready for anything.
Okay, so this is important. Now, my problem here is that I'm going to put on this clean blue suit, and I'm immediately carrying too much and can't run. So that's not good. How much am I carrying? I am carrying, let me see, 164 of 140. So let's see if a little grilled radstag will solve that problem. It just barely solves the problem and reduces my weight besides. So that's pretty crazy. So what the other important thing is that I have to take a Gwinnett Stout, because that will boost my charisma up to 10, which is where I need it. And I really do literally need that exact number, because anything lower than 10, and it won't work. Alright, so now as we see, my charisma is now 10, which should get me through this alive. Unless I'm wrong, unless I have calculated wrong. In which case, this will probably be the end of the playthrough. But we'll see.
What are you doing? You come into my house, shoot up my guys? You have any idea how much this is gonna set me back?
I wouldn't be here if it weren't for your two-timing dame, Skinny. You ought to tell her to write home more often.
Oh, poor little Valentine. Ashamed you got beat up by a girl? I'll just run back home to Daddy, shall I?
Should've left it alone, Nikki. This ain't the old neighborhood. In this vault, I'm king of the castle, you hear me? And I ain't letting some private dick shut us down now that I finally got a good thing going.
I told you we should have just killed him! But then you had to get all sentimental. All that stupid crap about the old times.
Darla, I'm handling this. Skinny Malone's always got things under control.
Oh, yeah? Then what's this guy doing here, huh? Valentine must have brought him here to rub us all out.
Darla, listen to me. You have a home to go back to. You don't want to throw your life away with these thugs.
You're right! What am I doing? I've gotten all mixed up.
Darla, where are you going?
Home, Skinny. Where I should have been all this time. This is goodbye for us.
Oh, come on, Nikki. You cost me my men. Now you and your friend cost me my girl?
My friend here just did you a favor, Skinny. You always did have bad taste in women. Now that she's not around to feed that temper of yours, maybe you'll see sense and let us walk. You still owe me for 2 weeks in the hole.
You smug, overconfident ass. Get out of here! All right, you get to the count of 10. I still see your face after that. I'm gunning both of you down.
You better get out of here fast.
1.
And I always take that quite seriously. Basically, don't stop running until I can no longer run anymore. And get the hell out of the vault, because just it's the last thing I need to get gunned down after the count runs down. Live and love. Beware the manhandler. The good old days of pulp magazines, which apparently are reborn in the Fallout version of the 21st century. Okay, so that's actually one of those situations where this this getup I'm wearing is actually appropriate. If I can, for some reason I can't switch to, there we go. Well, except for the backpack maybe, but... Hello.
Ready to talk? How do you know to find me down in that old vault?
Your secretary, Ellie, sent me.
She did? I should give her a raise. Now, you mentioned something about your son, Sean, how he went missing.
I want you to come to my office in Diamond City. Give me all the details. Besides, I think you've earned a chance to sit down and clear your head.
I'll meet you there.
Diamond City.
And there we go. So Nick will go his way. I want to stick with Codsworth for the moment because I would really like to get a chance to rest and re-equip and all that good stuff. So the first step in that, of course, is putting on my real clothes. Not that I don't love. Oh wait, that's not right. I want the Wastelander's chest piece there. Not that I don't love my army helmet or my clean blue suit, but I love my army helmet and my armor better. So here we are. Nick is heading home. We are heading probably not back to Diamond City. The route that Nick takes, by the way, I am not taking at all because it's dangerous. I'm going to go back the way I came. And if you look where you end up here, you actually end up not far from where you came. You entered the square, the Boston Commons. So I'm just going to kind of mosey my way back here. I'm not going into Hubert's Comics, I can tell you that, because that place is the second worst ghoul death trap in the game. The first being, in my personal opinion, Cambridge Polymer Labs. That place is just that place is a death trap. There's that frag mine. So they didn't blow up the frag mine that if you recall, these guys the raiders in there were listening for me, looking for me, and then there was a big explosion, and then gone. Which seemed like a car explosion, but I had assumed that maybe one of their mines was not properly armed, and they detonated it themselves. Yeah, so I think that's someone getting in a gunfight with Nick. But you know what? He can handle himself. The guy, he's just fine. I am not getting involved because I happen to know that there. Oh boy, wild mongrel. Okay, that also is dealing with Nick, but I'm not going to bother with it really. Don't want to mess around with it. Now there is these guys. God no. Yeah, it's too risky. It's too risky. Sorry. And there really isn't that much good gear there. It's not really worth it. So we are better off moving back to Diamond City and then making our way back. Probably I need to go all the way back to Sanctuary, as much as I don't want to. Of course, the other thing that should be noted here is that when Nick says come back to my office, what that will do is kick off probably the most deadly of the early game quests that I will be tasked with here, which is tracking down the kidnapper of my son by the name of Kellogg. And I mentioned him previously. Those who know the game, of course, know him very well. If you know what you're doing and everything goes right, he can be handled. He's not that much of a threat. But I'll tell you what, on survival mode, the amount of damage, his gun, his weaponry already does tremendous damage. The synths, as we have found in the mod with the mods that I've used, are already doing tremendous damage. It's a killer. It is absolutely a killer, and it's one that I absolutely I can't just walk into casually. So I mean, the game would have me just kind of mosey on over and meet up with Nick. We're not going to do that straight away. We're going to head back. This Diamond City is on the case here. That's excellent. We're going to head back actually to Sanctuary, I think, and there was an alternative I thought of that I could do. I don't know if I can get it done. Yeah, let me think about this for a second. Let me just consider this. There are a couple ways I could go here. One of the things I would like to eventually do would be to take over Hangman's Alley. A lot of people don't like Hangman's Alley. I think Hangman's Alley is great. I think it's a relatively centrally located. It's close to Diamond City. It's too small to be really a practical settlement for other people. But as a central base for me, it's terrific. I can't go there right now at this very moment because I don't have the stealth. Because the only real way to do Hangman's Alley without getting killed is to stealth it. This door cannot be opened from this side. It's got to be open from the other side. The only way for me to do that is to go in through the alley, open it, go over here, and basically what I do is I set up a sniper nest and kind of take them out from the other side of this door. I can't do that right now. I don't have the stealth. It's daytime. It would be suicide. So I want to do that eventually, but I can't do that. Another alternative would be to go back into the city and hang out and rest. That's probably going to mean resting in the Dugout Inn, which is going to kick off another quest. But again, I just kind of feel like I really should be focusing on Sean and not these side quests. This is an interesting dilemma. All right, here's my deciding vote. I've got some equipment that I need to work on.
I feel as if we're finally making progress, huh? Mr. Valentine seems to be quite the detective.
Indeed he does. Can I get that done with what I have here? Let's look at what Codsworth has on him in terms of stuff. The problem is I have nowhere to store this stuff, I think, is the problem. Yeah, as much as it pains me, I think we're gonna have to scoot on back to Sanctuary right about now. It just doesn't. Also, yeah, Confidence Man is one of those, again, those sort of casual quests that it's a great little quest. It just doesn't feel like, it feels like the kind of quest I would I'm going to refuse at this point. Again, if I'm trying to roleplay this thing, and I am, Thomas isn't gonna, hey, could you help me out with my friend who's having some trouble? No, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff, man. I cannot help you out with your friend. So right away, see, there's a Raider scum right there. I cannot take those guys on right now. Mainly because I just cannot safely get into position without them spotting me. I'm going to have to hold off on that one. Also, the other reason I want to get to a workbench, for one express reason, I want to try to build up Codsworth's affinity get high enough that I don't have to take him around anymore. Oh, what do we have here? Scavengers. Okay. Wow. That is a really rapid-fire gun. It sounds like a minigun. That sounds like a minigun. Or a light machine gun, which is stupidly known in this game as an assault rifle. Whatever it is, it's really rocking those guys, so I'm going to get over here as quickly as possible. I want to stay far, far, far away from them. Whatever's messing with them, I don't want any part of it. Wow, that does not sound good. That sounds like something that could kill me very quickly. I'm not sure what that is. A Mr. Gutsy, maybe? Could be a Mr. Gutsy. The point is, there's no Mirelurks here on this shore. And that is the most joyous thing ever. I can't tell you how glad I am that there are no Mirelurks over here. Because we're staying way, way, way over here. And way, way, way far away from whatever that is. That is, of course, again, the that particular zone is just a killing field. It is an absolute killing field. It is, no matter where you come into it, you're always running into usually two factions. Opposing factions will meet up there and attempt to kill each other. Sometimes scavengers, sometimes raiders. Super mutants, mongrels, feral ghouls, you name it. It's just like everything that's in the game that is hostile will meet up there in some way, shape, or form. I am, of course, now taking that aforementioned back route to the bridge, on the assumption that the bridge will no longer have that toll booth on it or anything else that's going to bother me. I'm tired from lack of sleep. That's not good. Let's do a quick check on what that's doing to my stats. So if we look at the effects here, so my AP refresh is reduced. I mean, tired. It's not a huge AP refresh is negative 5%. Alright, well, I'll live with it. I mean, again, in this game, AP refresh is not my biggest problem. It's the sheer number of AP points that I have. Blood bug hatchling. Okay, if that is the worst thing that's going to spawn over here today, and I hope it is, I'm not worried. That cave has nothing to speak for it now, but boy, is it quite an interesting encounter later in the game. It's kind of a weird little encounter. Someone, poor individual, died here. A tree fell on them. They had their glasses and a book. They're trying to read by the light. Very sad. Up there is Oberlin Station, another area which we will be visiting at some point in the future when we decide to start building and fortifying settlements. I mainly mention it here because the routes that you're seeing me take are very similar to the routes that will be used by my my caravaneers, my couriers, my provisioners, what have you. I try to give them reasonably safe routes, and of course it all depends on how you connect the settlements. They try to do as much close to a straight line as possible. The ones who are in tougher areas get better equipment, and they can actually come in handy as backup for me from time to time. Now let's see here. Important thing is we're not going into the Beantown Brewery today, but it's good to know it's here. Look at that. Sure enough, super mutants, and a suicider is among them. You can tell from the beep, from the glowing red beep, or blinking red. Well, boy, I'm really glad that they're not staking out the bridge. They're just going up that way. I want nothing to do with those mothers. Only appears to be two of them. Very rarely do they travel in twos. Now, my only concern here is that they're going to do a patrol that's going to be backwards and forwards. In other words, they're going to come back this way, which would be really bad for me. Yeah, that could be concerning. I think we're going to hang out here for just a minute. Let me see if I can see where they're going. Unfortunately, there's nothing that they're going to run into there that they're going to fight other than the Brotherhood, but the Brotherhood isn't, it's still at this point just Paladin Dance and his crew up there, so they probably aren't going to touch them. I don't know if there's an opposing encounter that they're going to run into, and they may just turn around and come right back. With that in mind, I think the better part of this valor here, being discretion, I'm not going to use this bridge once more. It's too dangerous. The chances of them, because if they turn around on a route, they would just about be coming back around by the time I got over that bridge. That's not good. So we're going to take an alternate route that lies a little bit further to the west, and which, to the best of my knowledge, has no encounters. And I'll tell you what, I am so very glad that the Beantown Brewery does not have any external. It has internal hostiles, but it has no external hostiles. just got the feeling like these guys were trying to be a little low pro. Fancied themselves a more higher class of criminal, even though they're not. But yeah, it's pretty much a guarantee with almost any industrial or semi-industrial space you run into in the game. The odds are very good that it's occupied by raiders. They're always occupied by raiders. Sometimes, but not always, there is a mongrel hound around here. Now, I don't know how Codsworth's going to get over this thing, but I'm just going to walk it. It's not easy, but it can be done. Just have to be very careful that we don't fall off. But yeah, the train trestle. Actually a relatively safe way to get to and fro. And I'm going to make use of it. I am not going to follow the train tracks all the way up, though, even though it seems like it might be a shortcut, because there's actually some hostile stuff up there that I don't want to mess with. There is a cabin, I believe, on one of the hilltops that has some Yaoguai in it. Potentially, there is what else is there? There's some radiation up there from the storage yard. There's a raider who is mourning the body of a comrade, which is kind of a nice. There's kind of a nice little humanistic feel to it, except for the fact that, of course, if they see you, they still try to kill you, even though they're attending their funeral. And of course, here's Grey Garden once more, relatively safe place. Still not going to accept White's quest. We'll do that later. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, and just we all get this assumption when we're playing these games. I mean, not all of us. I'm sure you may be completely different from me, but many of us get this assumption that you're playing a video game, you're supposed to be the hero, you're supposed to help everyone. You're supposed to help everyone you come across, and that's heroic. And that is super heroic, but it doesn't make you a bad person to say, wait a minute, you've put these facts in front of me as this character, that I'm after my child. So I think that comes first, right? But, and you can, and again, my argument is you can completely play the game that way. You end up with a better game, a better story in the game, and it doesn't mean you can't do those, you can't be heroic throughout at a later point in the game. The longer that the further we get into the story and the longer that the sole survivor is out here, the more it starts to make sense that they would say, okay, well, I'm in this for the long haul. I've got to make friends. I've got to make allies. But we're not there yet. We're still really in the early part of the game. And the most important thing we've got to do right now is to prepare for the encounter with Kellogg. Because he is dangerous. He's very, very dangerous. Dreth. I don't know who Dreth is, and I don't really want to find out. Looks healthy, but again, I am not taking any chances. Dreth doesn't sound like a very friendly name. It's only a few letters away from Darth. Oh yeah, and they're gunners. Forget it. I'm getting away from there. Talk about guys who would insta-kill me. Woohoo! Gunners would definitely do that.
This is all much more exciting than domestic life, I assure you.
Getting close, but we're not out of the woods yet, folks. There can always be a problem here. See, I've seen it before, so we're going to remain cautious and hidden as we move past this intersection. This is really the last point. Well, that's not true. The last point, this is the next to last point that I get a little cautious when I'm heading back to Sanctuary. The very last point where you have to watch out is the hills just to the east of Sanctuary, where super mutants will spawn. Raiding parties will come out of the hills and try to march into Sanctuary, and that's not an uncommon occurrence. That doesn't happen all the time, for sure, but it's... I see it almost, I think, at least once a playthrough. I see it. And it usually happens around this level, so when I get up there, you can bet I'm going to stealth. What I actually think I'm going to do is, with that in mind, probably just climb the hill a little bit here. Can. There we go. Come on, there we, all right, now stealth we go. Pull out the sniper rifle so we can see what's out in front of us. Not that I think there's anything here, mind you. This is always fairly clear, but yeah, I'm taking a lot of precautions. As I have said before, as others who have done similar playthroughs have said. It's when you relax. It's when you get overconfident. It's when you say, "Oh, I'm safe now." That's, you know, if you're out in, unless you're in like a zone that you know where no enemies appear. You're in your own home zone. You're not safe. You can never be absolutely sure that you're safe. I'm gonna go by way of the Abernathy's actually. Of course, the Abernathy's also sometimes get attacked by super mutants, so I might be walking into the thing I'm trying to avoid. But I don't hear any gunfire. Usually they open fire by now. I do mean to help them too. I just love their homestead, by the way. I think the idea of building a house using the tower as the electrical tower as a framework is just genius. That's terrific. I really wish they'd clean up all those vines and things growing on there, though. And all of that roundabout route is because I am paranoid right now about being sucker punched by super mutants. Because it's the first time you see a suicider, when you realize, oh, okay, I'm at the level where suiciders appear. No, that's not a super mutant. Of course, that's a pack Brahmin. I'm not worried about him, but he's actually a welcome sight, because if he's up there, that means that super mutants aren't. That's because they would certainly be shooting at him and he would be running. That probably means I just missed Carla, but that's okay. Carla has such a short damn travel route. She will no doubt be back anytime, sometime soon. Yep, there she goes.
I'm certain I'm the man for the job, sir.
And she's gonna head down the road, I assume. There we go. she goes. And we haven't, you know, someday we're gonna make use of that red rocket station. We're not there yet. It is, of course, one of the more popular early player homes. A lot of people do it in their first playthrough. I've done it a number of times. It's fine. I mean, it just seems to me that it's if you're gonna do that, it's a better structure. But if you're gonna do that, you almost might as well stay in Sanctuary. Sanctuary's also got plenty of all the essential crafting stations. It's got plenty of space. And granted, it's not quite as secure or solid looking, but here we are, back in Sanctuary. Relative safety here. Hello, doggy. How are you doing? Did you eat your food? I'm sure he ate his food. All right, so we're going to take a quick bite here. So I don't want to wake up even more hungry. The last of our formerly vast supply of mutton chops there, mutt chops, and we're gonna sleep. We're gonna sleep a good long time here. Let's say about 9 hours should do it. And so, what is our goal now? Well, basically to equip and supply and prepare ourselves for what I know is coming, which is a confrontation with the man who kidnapped our child. And the plot kind of hurdles along for a while after that, so I want to make sure that we get everything done that we need to prepare for that. There goes Preston, waking up for his daily patrol.
I'm all ears. Right then.
Give it all to me, buddy.
Oh. Best to finally choose which of that load to drop.
Uh-huh. Okay, so we're not dropping that. We are dropping this stuff. And now we have a ton of junk, and we're going to drop it all in. And there we go. So here we are back in good old Sanctuary once more. So I'm going to see about all this business, and we're going to take a quick break, and we will catch up with this after I have rearmed, re-equipped, and prepared for the rest of my adventure. This, of course, is Old Tom Jin. This is my playthrough of Fallout 4 Survival Mode.
We should keep moving. Don't want to be pinned down when the raiders come.
Yeah, you don't want to do that, because if you're moving, you're more vulnerable. As I was saying, my playthrough of Fallout 4 Survival Edition, my Permadeath run.